You won't have to wait 2 hours in the waiting room to see your doctor. I've done that
Oh,
at some of
uh,
these at one the other doctors' clinics,
right,
and
right.
you are in there. Yeah,
Carmen,
you
you said you fell asleep at
yeah,
the
you are in there very quickly.
yes,
They don't let people sit around very long, so
yes,
it's
yes.
yeah, it's a whole different atmosphere.
Or
And
forget
now it's
about you.
yeah,
So they just the doctor will see you. Nope, the doctor's gone home. I love that. I had that at a dentist recently. I went in for some dental pain, and I just needed to figure out, is this something that needs to be extracted? Is it what's happening with my tooth? And I think I was like 3 minutes late. 3 minutes late. And it's because the building is so big, you got to come through. And oh no, no, the doctor's gone. The doctor's gone. Gone. It took them 3 minutes to get out of the building. That's crazy. And so of course I had to wait another 6 months to get back in to that, which by then I don't even need the teeth. Take them out, throw them away. So you don't have to wait crazy times to get in to see your doctor. That's Outreach Community Health Centers, 414-727-6320.
and we're available to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just
Mm-hmm.
lower income or no
Mm-hmm.
insurance or that type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Anybody, because I have insurance, and when
Mm-hmm.
I had my heart problems, I had good insurance from where I was working at the time, which I was very thankful for because that whole process cost about $500,000.
Ha-
Uh,
oh my God.
and
Say it
it's
again for
yeah,
me, Don. What?
yeah, $500,000 for that surgery, and I was in the hospital for about a week or so because they couldn't get me in right away
Mm-hmm.
for the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was kind of in a pause area for COVID. So most of the hospital was filled with COVID patients. So it was quite an experience. But St. Luke's, I was at St. Luke's for that, and it was. Not something I ever want to go through again. I'll
No,
tell you
I
that.
would think not. Not only physically but financially, right? So one of the other components here is like the lack of physicians in our community. So if I can hop back up on my soapbox for a minute, we need more folks going to med school. We need to nurture that. We need more doctors. As I call them, homegrown. So they're raised here. They're going to medical school here. Again, shout out to Medical College of Wisconsin for nurturing those physicians. In some of my previous work, I've been able to help usher in new African American, Hispanic, and Asian American physicians here. And they're just really dedicated to making sure that those physicians are here. They have culturally relevant care. So then my heart is excited that now those physicians are coming to outreach to continue
And
that
it was a
training.
very diverse group
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
physicians that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I only saw them for a few minutes, but
Yeah.
I can tell you there was uh, a
Yeah.
very diverse group.
And it matters. I mean, when you think of not to go fully down the rabbit hole, but I think I was probably 24 or 25 before I had my first African American woman doctor. And for me, somebody that's like, sister girl, right? That can pull me to the side and say, sister girl, you're not doing what you need to be doing, and here's why, and here's the implications. That for me has a deeper impact. Somebody who can understand, who can feel, and can guide you. I had one conversation a couple days ago. Your physician should be a partner in your care. Like they should be a trusted advisor. They should be a friend of yours to tell you when you're on point. And having those physicians that are from your community, look like you, speak like you, but also can understand how you think, priceless. Truly, truly priceless. What else can we expect, I guess, over the next 6 months out of outreach? So we've done so much over the past 6 months. What else we got coming up? Like what else to the moon?
Well, we'll be having the ribbon cutting for the new facility, or the rehab facility, I should say, for the physicians that are coming in. That'll be probably in August sometime, but we're still waiting to find out when they're going to be finished because, as you know,
Mm-hmm.
contractors are contractors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if anything can go wrong, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just waiting for the final date on when we can occupy that space.
So, to book an appointment with these new physicians, your process will be pretty much the same. So, you'll be able to call the main number. Um, what do you hope? So let's say if we could wave a magic wand in 5 years from now, how do you see this program impacting the city?
Well, I think the way I look at it, I want it to be more than just the FQHC. I want it to be a full clinic, like that people know they can go to no matter who you are or what your situation is, whether you're a billionaire or living on the street. It We should be able to handle everybody, and people should be comfortable coming in there. And now with the new facility, I mean, it is just night and day difference from the old facility. It's just so beautiful. We walk in now; it's very, very open, very airy, very
It's the light. I'm
bright.
telling
Yeah,
you,
and the old place was like, oh my God, what is this? So
that's growth for you.
yeah,
That's growth for you.
it's but it served the need at the time, but now we've grown that. And like I said, we came from healthcare for the homeless. That's what it originally was. And we've grown a lot since then, but we still are with our roots. We still have work with the homeless population. We also have a program that we help the homeless population get apartments, and we can help pay for those apartments, and we can help furnish them.
So it's kind of a holistic. So you brought up an excellent point in terms of once we get your healthcare taken care of, there's these wraparound services. So there's community service. I always talk about 5 pillars. So we have the primary care, we have the dental, we have the behavioral health, but community services. So to your point, folks can come in 414-727-6320. They can, if they're homeless, experiencing homelessness, or they're trying to get on their feet, they can get connected to those programs. We call them targeted case management. You can get connected to that. And then you can do things like find an apartment, get help with those bills, get your apartment furnished, right? And so it's a really care for the whole person. I like to say, I'll figure out how to work that into our mission statement in the next couple months. But it really is. And so outreach is doing the work. It's walking the walk, making sure that we're all healthy. So coming up here, like I said, in a few moments, we will chat one of the community events that's happening this summer. I know we've got our big health fair coming up Saturday, July 27th from 11 to 2. To get connected, 414-727-6320. But talk back to me, Milwaukee. I haven't heard from y'all. Y'all are quiet this morning. 414-444-5250. Talk back to me. Let me know about health and wellness in your space, what you're doing, maybe some of those challenges that you've had and how you've overcome them. If outreach has made a difference in your life, give me a buzz. Let me know. So one of our community health fair, we will also be at Bronzeville Week this year. We will be attending a health fair at El Bethel. I believe that is Saturday, July 20th. We are at there's a family fest on the 17th but coming up on August 24th, I want you to break out your calendar. There is a walk run in the city, and we'll chat coming up here shortly with the creator, the founder, and chief supporter of that walk run. You'll see some of your favorite Milwaukee celebrities there. I'm positive. So mark your calendar, Saturday, August 24th for the Milwaukee 5K, MKE 5K. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that and how you can get connected here in a couple moments. Don, are you a runner? Let me tell you, I used to be a runner.
If I start now, I might make it to the finish line by August.
Are you a walker? Do you get out and
walk?
do walks?
Yeah, I do walk.
Okay.
I don't live far from the lake down in Racine, and we take walks down by the lake all the time. But I try to walk because I know you can't tell by I look very physically fit on the radio.
You are.
That is not the truth. I do eat too much, but I do try to get some exercise, and my wife nags me every day about going for a walk and getting out and at least hitting some golf balls or something. But so we try to, but it's been the weather has been just god awful.
I tell you.
Lately, my yard is a marsh.
Because it's been raining for like 50 years.
This is brutal.
Yeah. Is there something we don't know about, like Noah's Ark or something like that? I don't know. It's been raining a lot. So if you know anything, please let us know so we can prepare. But I love a good walk. I live out in one of the northern suburbs, and just to get out in nature. Like I said, I'm basically a house plant. But I love to be among like the trails, the Bugline Trail, the Oak Leaf Trail, and just walk, kind of leave it all out on the pavement. So if you can't do anything, just get out and walk your block, walk 2 blocks into 4 blocks, but make a commitment this month, Men's Health Month, to better health, better outcomes. Speaking of that, if I could just take a moment from Men's Health and turn it to the women in your lives, we have some programming that is specifically for women called Step Up Divas. They meet once a month. And this coming month, July 10th, I believe, nope, July 13th, Saturday, July 13th, the women will be on the Beerline Trail, the Beeline Trail that starts right near Outreach. So start small, but start. Get out and do a walk, do a mile. We did Pilates last month, and listen, Pilates looks really easy. Like, to your point, it looks like, anybody can do that. We were doing the little cycling, like from the 80s, you do the little bicycles in the air. The next day and the day after and the day after, I was hurting. So those small steps make a big difference. So join the women of Outreach on Saturday, July 13th. At the meet us at the front doors, and then we'll walk the Bugline Trail, the Beerline Trail. Get them mixed up. They're different. The Beerline Trail, to take steps to your health and wellness. So coming up August 24th, there is a race called the Milwaukee 5K race. And let me just read a little bit about it, because we are a sponsor of this event. So that's why we want you to join us. On Saturday, August 24th, a community-driven wellness initiative honoring men and their families at the Fiserv Forum Deer District will take place. By promoting wellness and a healthy lifestyle, we hope to encourage the entire family to spend quality time together. This event is open to all ages and abilities. Let me say that again. This event is open to all ages and abilities. So if you got 2 feet, 1 foot, you're rolling on 2 wheels, come out and join us. We want the community really to support. Mentors are also encouraged to bring their mentees to join in on the fun. You can register for this walk run at www.mke5k.com. That's www.mke5k.com. And the CEO says men's health is often overlooked, and we want to persuade men to take care of themselves and their families. The MKE 5K is a fun and interactive way to focus on on a few health disparities, such as heart health, colon health, prostate cancer, mental health, nutrition health, and financial health. And this year, there are 2 co-chairs, and them, Milwaukee. This year's co-chair is Ashanti Hamilton, director of the Milwaukee Office of Health and Wellness, and the county exec, Dave Crowley,
who was a board
member, right? So shout out to you, county exec. We did get a chance to see him at Juneteenth as well. But the Milwaukee 5K will help us reach our goal to become the healthiest county in the state, says Crowley. So join us. Outreach, again, is excited to be a sponsor for this year's event. So come out and join us. Walk with us. Kick it with us. Join in on the fun. Okay, so you can register online to join us, or you can call us, 414-727-6320. So Don, we were talking about the things that are coming up over the next 6 months of outreach. What are some of the health topics that you think we might be able to utilize to get the community excited? Like, we've got the health fair, but people don't get excited about cholesterol. That's not something they're like, woo, cholesterol.
I think blood pressure is a big issue, especially in the African American community. A friend of mine just passed away from prostate cancer. We're very close to, again, a big issue in the African American community. In fact, passed away on January 1st. So it was not a good start to the year.
And that's James Hall.
James Hall,
James
yeah,
Hall.
my he was one of my closest friends and mentor, and just
Community giant.
yeah, community giant. Yeah, just loved being around him. When he was the president of the NAACP, I was the treasurer, and yeah, he dragged me into that one. But
So he did to you what
yeah,
you do. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
everybody, and I got dragged onto the board originally at Outreach by Warner Jackson, who I had worked with at SDC. He was the board chair at that time. So I've been around the block a few times, and I've been involved with many different community groups, and I just like working with the community, which is kind of strange because my upbringing, I grew up in a very small town, and there were no minorities in the town,
See.
and there was one Jewish family, and that was Mars.
Did you grow up in the Midwest?
Yeah, in a little town called Edgerton, just south of Madison.
Okay.
In fact, when my father was a doctor, and it's a long story how he got there, but when he was there, he started his practice, and they wouldn't even let him use the hospital facilities because he was Jewish. So, and I felt the discrimination because I grew up in the in the 50s and 60s, and even though there was no other minority groups, I take that back. There was one Native American family that was there, but other than that, there was nothing. So it was I understood it, and then when I came to Milwaukee, I just started working with different groups. I don't know, it just kind of
that's why you got the
way.
connection. Like there's listen, I'm old enough to know when people are blowing smoke, right? And there's some people that are just very, very genuine in their work, in their focus. And I would put you in that category. There's some people, would throw money at diversity initiatives, but like you are plugged in and like locked into this community.
Well, and like I said, with the web that I have, and I met Ebony 10 years ago, and I remember
it's actually more than that, Don.
Oh. You're getting older, not me.
Right.
But I remembered the way she had done brochures and flyers and things at the time. And that was when I was on the NAACP board. And I really liked the way her style was. And when we needed somebody, I thought, well, let me see if I can get a hold of her, because I remembered it. Now, that was over 10 years ago. So you never get out of my web. At some point, I will find you. Because I will need something.
It's a good web, though.
Yeah, it's a fun web, and everybody, like I said, I try to make sure everybody wins. It's not just a take type thing, and even with our funders, we need money. Even though we get federally funded, they don't cover all the costs of different things, like our mobile unit. There's certain issues that we need to take care of, and with other things around the building that we need funding for, just to keep us going every day.
Yeah. So we were talking about I'm still going to call him President James Hall. That's just the way I see him. We were at the Legacy Gala.
Yes.
Was it around this time last year? Time is flying.
August, I think, yeah.
And he was in good health and good spirits. And so that's kind of the mindset I'm taking with the reason we're nagging, the reason we're nudging you to go in and get checked is because there's so many things that you might not be able to see on the surface that could be happening. But he's another one gone way too soon, held this community up for many, many years. I recall just a quick incident or a story. It's not an incident. We were working to create some voter engagement, and I had not met him in person. So I'd only up to that point seen his name on materials and seen his name on documentation. But he came in and sat down at the table and he's talking. And I'm like, he reminded me of Elijah Muhammad in the movie Malcolm X, right? So this soft-spoken but powerful spoken person, and like immediately had my attention. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And so of course I didn't want to be embarrassed and ask at the table, who is this guy? So then he gets up and he goes to the podium and he says, I am President James Hall. I'm like, that's the guy from the paper, right? I was young, naive, but after that, understanding the weight, the impact that he had in this community will never be lost. So that lives on. The legacy is strong into his family. Thank you for sharing him for so many years to our community. The impact is felt for sure. For sure. You are listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show, this is a movement dedicated to bringing our community together through wellness, keeping your heart pumping with positivity. We'll be right back.
Are you a dynamic individual with a passion for sales?
Good morning, Milwaukee. You're listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show, it's a movement. We were chatting during the break. This is one of those mornings that I just figure everybody's sitting in their bed still with the coffee. They call that remote hybrid work day in, right? They're just chilling. It's a perfect day for that. Working from home. I call that a mental health day too. Do men take mental health days? Do they? Or they just power through? Just general. Y'all speak. You do? What you got? What you got, Kyrie? What you got? It is. Yeah. Boom. What do you do for your mental health?
I listen to beats. I listen to high frequency music.
Look at you. That listen, that sound bath. He said he listens to high frequency music.
Literally, if I'm ever feeling bad, I play some high frequency music and it changes my whole.
Man, you just made my day.
You brought up a huge point. I mean, most men do not want to get checked or have
Yeah.
get help with their mental health
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
And it is so important. You know, they're more likely to go for the physical health than they are the mental health.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
you know, even now you're seeing, you know, the baseball players, the actors,
Mhm.
you know, the A-listers, I guess they call them,
Yeah.
are, you know, they have, I think, a permanent physician on site,
Yeah.
or psychologist or psychiatrist on site, and it shouldn't be the stigma that it is,
It should not.
and it does have that. So
What's the young lady, the gymnast who just kind of stepped away from it all for
Simone
mental-
Biles.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just said, I need to get my mental health.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now look at her, she's back on top of her game
Right.
again.
Yeah. It's a part that's not spoken about, but I love being a resource. So finding though, I love YouTube for that reason. You can plug in relaxing melodies, you can plug in sound bath, you can plug in, and you can have that going throughout your workday. But sometimes you just don't want to power through. Get your coffee and lay in bed. The world actually will continue on without you. For that day, for that one day, you can take what you need. So getting those mental health screenings. We talked, what was it, May? The months are rolling by. We talked about in May it being Mental Health Awareness Month, and just taking that moment, but being okay with not being okay. So we had a few of our clinicians in, and there's a waiting list in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So there's a backlog of folks that need treatment that aren't able to get it because we just don't have enough.
Yeah, that is an issue. We are, and that's everywhere.
Yeah.
There isn't any place I know of that you can
Just
get
walk
in.
right in.
Well, you can walk in. We do have a walk-in
Mhm.
program through the county that you can get some help, but it is that's a tough road right now because there just are not enough physicians
Yeah.
out there, and psychologists and psychiatrists. They're just in such a need. It's really blown up in the last few years because of the people that are coming out and saying, yeah, I got mental health issues. And people are starting to say, oh, okay, well, if they got a problem, maybe, and I've got a problem, maybe it's not such a bad deal that I go and talk to somebody.
I know that's right. So the idea that and I straddle the fence in this, you know, the resources are there for those that have mental health disorders. So if there is an issue, but I also want to see the same amount for mental wellness, like those things you can do to just feel better, to feel more well. But now what do you do? Like when Ebony is tap dancing on that last nerve, and I like to do it in stilettos too, like what are some of the things you do to kind of unplug, to restore that balance?
One of the things I do, I have a collector car, and it's an old Mercedes convertible, and I like to drive it. It's just a fun car to drive, and it just gets me out. And as long as it's not like a day like today, I would have driven it up here today. But otherwise, I just I'll go and hit a bucket of golf balls, or go on. I got a small golf course near me, and I go over there sometimes and just get it by myself, and I just go hit some golf balls and just take in the air and just calm down.
Yeah. Carvey, what do you do? You mentioned some of the things, but when you just gotta restore, relax, unwind, what do you do?
Pretty much the same thing. Take a nap, rejuvenate.
Chill. Listen, I will take a nap.
I feel like water cures everything.
Listen, there actually is. Okay, so again, I'm gonna give you a saying. Salt cures, whether it's seawater, whether it's tears, whether
My wife, it's salt water. I mean, if there's a beach, she will be.
yes,
on it.
Lord. Yes, you can't be mad on a boat. You just
No.
you don't even need a boat. Put your
Yeah.
feet in the water, right? Just get out and do those
Yeah,
things.
she will do that. She'll just grab somebody and say, I want to go on your boat, and she'll just go.
And as she should. Shout out to Carolyn.
Yeah.
She is amazing.
She's taking care of her sister's baby right now. So he's like 9 months old, so it's driving her crazy.
Listen, if you've met Caroline, she she is a party.
Oh yeah.
She is such a bright light. So she keeps you well and balanced. So that's a benefit to everybody, for sure, for sure. But nurturing those moments of health, nurturing those moments of wellness. My husband is a runner. My dad is a runner and a swimmer. Pretty much everyone around me kind of finds their way of restoring. But like I said, for me, it's walks. For me, it's powering down. I will take a nap. I do not need to be
I do take,
persuaded.
I do take walks too because I don't live far from the lake down in Racine, and
Mhm.
I just go down and sip. We have a little beach near us that nobody uses. Nobody
Mhm.
knows is there, and I just go down and just sit by the water. I like water. It's just calming.
Yes.
I
Yes.
used to have a big fish tank, but I finally got rid of that after like 15 years because I got tired of cleaning it out. But
I got the one little fish bowl with like the one little fish. Ooh.
tank, so
Ooh.
it was just fun to watch. I don't know, something about water just calms me.
Yeah. I mean, a good beach, a good bonfire, good people around you. I think there's so much to be said too about like a network of folks around you. What would you say about like your friend group? Is your friend group that immediate group of people, are they into the health and wellness space?
They are. I dragged them into it, but
No, not you. Not you.
yeah, most of my friends are now patients at Outreach, but they run different organizations, and I've just been blessed to have some really close friends, and a very diverse group as well. So it's a lot of fun. I get involved with a lot of Hmong community issues and Hispanic community issues, and so that to me is a lot of fun. It's fun to see other cultures and learn about other cultures.
I agree.
And that really is, I think if people would just stop the fear,
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about, what all this garbage that you hear on TV and stuff, but just go and meet people and talk to people and every ethnic food in the world I've had,
And it's delicious.
It's wonderful.
It's delicious. I mean, to me, again, I like these mantras. I like these jokes. So I say, if you want world peace, get everybody's grandma together. Put abuela in the house with Big Mama, in the house with, the tribal elders. Put everybody's grandma in a room and we will have world peace.
I'm working on that too.
But the food, you mentioned the food. The food from around the world is delicious. So I will try anything, right? Except like there are some things I won't try. If it's got eyes looking back at me, generally speaking, I won't. But I love Asian cuisine. Any noodles, sauces. I think I might have some Italian and Mexican heritage somewhere because my love for cheese and pasta, unmatched. And a good salsa, a good tomato based, but it's not nutrition month, is it? Food calms me. Do you cook, Don? Is cooking a way to relax?
I do cook.
Okay.
We do have picnics and barbecues and stuff at my house because I got a big deck that I can go on, and in fact we're having one this weekend for Caroline's sister's birthday. He
forgot our invitation, Milwaukee. He forgot to invite us to the cookout. Don did not invite us.
Like he forgot.
Like, where's my invite?
Everybody's invited to my house at any time, and especially Thanksgiving. We have the whole world is at my house on Thanksgiving.
But you will be cooking at the health fair.
Yes.
So they can come out and sample your finest.
Yes, I will be making hamburgers and hot dogs. And, the chips are already made, so that's not a problem.
I like to take credit for that. I made the chips. Yeah. I made the chips.
I did find a grill big enough now to do that. I was hoping for another one, but I couldn't get that one, so I got one now that he's roasted a pig on the grill, so I know it's big enough to.
Debo, do you grill?
Oh, please.
Are you a grill master? Is levels to this.
Please, I have trophies.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite dish to make.
All right. Spare ribs.
I won't really believe you until I try them myself. I
understand.
You need to bring. When will you be bringing those in?
I don't know.
Well, then next year you'll have to be one of our chefs. We took over Benihana's and we had dining with Doc's, which I was not happy about. I wanted it.
Go and tell the people,
Doctors That
Don. Go
Cook
and tell the people
was my
behind it.
idea, and then she
Mhm.
came up with Dine with Docs, and of course she had already put all the stuff out.
Yeah.
Before I
The,
could
the
say no.
alliteration, though, right?
She shored it up by
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
all the
Right,
documents
so
already done.
we got all these doctors that were cooking at Benihana's, and they were the chefs, and of course they had chefs with them from Benihana's,
Plankington?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it
Mhm.
was an absolute ball.
It
Everybody
was.
just had a great time.
It was.
We had 3 judges,
Mhm.
actual judges, Pedro Colon and Christy Yang and
Derek Mosley.
Derek Mosley.
Shout out to Judge
Okay.
Mosley.
And Derek Mosley came. He said, "Well, how are we supposed to judge him?" I said, "Just have fun with it." And they did. They just had
So
had a ball.
you had all these physicians, surgeons, like cooking
I wouldn't
for
fit
us.
in the docs part though.
Well, You're a doctor of the radio.
radio.
well,
There you go.
actually, one of the listeners, Dr. Ward, deemed me a doctor.
See?
So yeah,
You are a doctor of
I'll
the
fit in. I'll
airwaves.
fit in. I'll make
Yes.
it work.
Okay, so you heard it here
Yeah,
first.
but
Our
I don't know.
very
I don't
first.
know if spare ribs would fit.
No, that one.
There's
that
a
one,
little beef. They had a little steak situation in there.
Okay,
You could just
yeah,
put your own little
steak
flair
and
on
chicken,
it.
and so it.
I mean, I don't know how healthy
But that was a
spare
fun.
ribs are.
That was just a really fun night.
really.
Then we've got to show up at the walk so that we can walk off the calories. So you can eat pretty much anything. It's the how you balance it out. How you balance it out. So we're getting spare ribs. I just want to make mental notes. We're
Oh,
getting
boy.
spare ribs. Don is inviting us
doesn't
to
forget
the full the full cookout, and then he'll be cooking for us for
She forgets because she promised Carvey something that he hasn't got.
So listen, let me just bring that on back. We were talking last month about cheese and chips, cheese and chips. So why you shouldn't be eating chips. And I was shaking my finger. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. But then I said, let me put you on to this cheese, right? Because that's my vice. I don't do a lot of things, but I do the cheese and I do the steak. Gouda. So if you have never had mac and cheese made with
Gouda's
smoked
sensational.
Gouda, it really
Changes the whole profile.
it's going to change everything. So I said I would bring that. I haven't. Keep me accountable. You're gonna get some Gouda.
Gouda's good stuff.
Oh my goodness. Don, do you like the cheese?
Some.
Favorite cheese? As you can see, we're stretching at this point, right?
No, we're fine. We're fine.
What's your favorite cheese?
I think I like Swiss. Like some of the other.
Okay. Listen, give me the funky cheeses. Give me the horseradish. That stuff is like drinking
Oh.
gasoline.
Have you had hook cheese?
I have. You know who brought me hook cheese?
Keon.
Brought me. There is video. No, there's not video. If you check our Instagram page, there's video of me having the cheese. He did follow it up with another healthy snack. But listen, that's my vice. Give me
Hook
some
cheese, in my opinion, it's right in there with a good cheddar.
It is. I mean, you can eat it by the block. So this body shape didn't get this way for me not enjoying fine foods. But I try to work out in the interim. So I would say wine and cheese is the way I relax. For sure.
Favorite wine?
Ooh, I love a Gewürztraminer, which is like a Riesling. I know.
Yeah.
I'm about to put my spectacles on because I feel really
Well,
classy.
Now
when I
we're gonna
say
have to have a case of wine at our desk every morning. So
No, you can't drink
And
at work.
cheese.
I did ask that. I did ask that.
Pinot Grigio for me. I like a good Pinot.
Okay.
Riesling is good.
Yeah.
I'm more on the sweeter profile.
Yes, absolutely.
Moscato, that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's always good time for
That-
Moscato. It's very sweet.
yeah,
Very sweet.
that we'll get to you real quick.
And the problem is no.
Yeah.
And
But the
problem-
Oh, here
Merlots,
you-
things of that nature.
Here comes Matt.
But those are the things that are good for your heart. They say.
You know what we should
It
be
is.
doing when he walks in?
What should we be?
Signing off.
So we are no good. We are
Thank you
no
for coming. Folks, it's been
We
a
are-
great show.
we are
We appreciate
no
you listening
good.
in, but we're done.
No, we're waiting Milwaukee to share with you a phenomenal resource that's here in the city. So it'll just take us a couple seconds to transition into that. Always welcome. So that's why you're hearing about cheese, right? Because we're waiting to share some resources with you. But they say wine is good for the heart. So maybe just a little nip here and there. If you do like to sip on the wine, do it in moderation, of course. But again, lots of fun, lots of laughter, banter. Welcome to the studio, Mr. Johnson. If you're watching on YouTube, wave at this camera, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Milwaukee, as you're dining on your cheese this morning, hopefully it's a slow morning with a glass of wine at 8 o'clock in the morning. Why not? YOLO. But you want to live well, so don't do YOLO too much. You're listening to Community Heartbeat. And again, a part of this show was meant to be a resource creator for the community. So we've been chatting a little bit about Men's Health Month, the screenings you need, the facilities available at Outreach. But this August,